So the first one we got is Snow White.
Oh, okay. Before we do this, I just want you to know I haven't seen most of these films,
Oh
so
yeah.
it will be hard to like rank them.
Yeah.
Um, but from what I can remember from Snow White, I think that was like the very first animated film I've ever seen,
Yeah.
and it actually gave me nightmares as a kid.
Really.
I had when I was a kid and I had a dream. I had the same nightmare back to back, the exact same nightmare back. When does that even happen to anyone?
Yeah.
I had the exact same dream, that nightmare that I've had of the witch. Like when she transforms into that witch. Oh, it's such a hideous creation, dude.
Yeah. That was pretty creepy. The scene of her running in the forest was really
Um,
scary. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That scene as well. It's crazy. Like these films aren't for kids, dude.
yeah.
It's um. I would give this one probably. I would have because it's like so ahead of its time. It's got to be like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Like the animation, like for 1937, is insane. Like it was all done by hand. No digital stuff. No nothing. It was just
Yeah.
all good artists, you know. Yeah, I'll also give it the same 10 out of 10. Number one so far. Pinocchio is the second one. What do you think of that one?
I don't remember much of Pinocchio. I remember the one scene of the kids turning into donkeys always sticks out to me,
Yeah, that was
but I
scary.
never remembered how Pinocchio actually ends. I don't remember the ending of Pinocchio because it's been so long ago.
I could spoil it, but I don't want to spoil it
Um,
for you. You might want to watch it.
I remember the scene with the whale as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can't remember much. I would see.
yeah,
If I remember it, maybe I would say 10 out of 10. But because I can't remember it, I would say 9 out of 10,
yeah.
which
Fair
is
enough.
dumb. It's still like, very high, but
I'd give Pinocchio like an 8 out of 10. I feel like it does meander a little bit in um the second act, but it picks up towards the end.
hmm.
But yeah, I'll put that underneath Snow White. Next up, Fantasia.
Fantasia, never seen it.
It's basically a series of short stories just compiled together into this one film.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
oh, is that this? Oh, yes, I seen one. There's one scene where there's like this demon coming out of a volcano or something. Like,
that's the one.
what the
I think
hell is
that's
going on here?
Night on Bold Mountain or something like that. It's really that's a good one.
Yeah, that's an intense scene. Um, Other than that, I can't review it because I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah,
Like, it's
apart
just except
from
for that small scene.
apart from the Sorcerer's Apprentice with Mickey Mouse and the Night on Bold Mountain, it's not a good film. It's
Oh,
pretty long. It's over 2 hours long. It's so long. Yeah. But next up, we've got Dumbo.
Dumbo, dude, I haven't seen it.
Uh, Not seen this one. A classic.
What would you rate it? How would you rate Dumbo?
It's short. It's only an hour long. I will put it literally above Fantasia. So number three so far.
Okay, above that. Okay.
It's just it's very kiddie, you know. It's got some sad scenes in it with the mother.
What the hell is he even about?
It's this baby elephant who can't talk and he has big
Oh,
ears and
right, the
he's
elephant.
bullied. Yeah,
Yeah. Of
and he
course.
meets
No,
this.
of course. I've seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, so my bad. I have seen the trailer for it. Yeah, the elephant. Yes,
yeah.
I've not seen the film, but I've seen the trailer for it. I remember.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's controversial with the crows, you know, because
The Crows.
yeah, they were voiced by black artists, and people think that they're just Jim Crow and the whole stuff with that.
Oh, on the nose
Yeah,
type
it's only
shit.
on the nose. Yeah,
Oh,
and it's not very.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
actually
people were
crazy.
not happy with that. But yeah, I put it at number three. Next up is Bambi.
Bambi. Damn. The funny thing is, everyone knows how it begins. No one knows how it freaking ends.
Yeah.
Um, I'd, I'd have to rank it slightly above Dumbo only because I know the opening scene from Bambi.
Yeah.
That is it, dude.
Yeah, I'll say that as well. Yeah. I think I would put it a little bit higher, you know? Like, I think it's better than Pinocchio. It's just got more meat to the story.
Fair.
Yeah. But yeah. Art's pretty nice. Beautiful. Next up, Saludos Amigos.
What? The what and the what?
Saludos Amigos.
I don't even know what this is, dude.
So it's basically Donald Duck going to South America. It's basically like, it's not really a movie. It's more of like a documentary of South America, but they're using the Donald Duck and Goofy characters to explain the foreign land of South America in the 1940s.
Interesting. Definitely
Yeah.
might not be racist at all.
Yeah, it's okay for most of it, but they do tend to like portray women in a certain way, which isn't very progressive. That's all I'll say. I will put this movie right underneath Dumbo, but it's better than Fantasia because it's very short, only 42 minutes. Next up, The Three Caballeros.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's basically a sequel to the Saludos Amigos, and it's basically the
Fair
same
enough.
thing but longer. I think it's worse. It's just too long. But you might recognize
You
some of
actually
this.
see all these films.
Oh yeah, I saw it
When
back
did you
in.
watch this film?
I watched all of them in 2019 when I was at uni.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
So basically, I think before Disney Plus came out, they had like a trial version of it called Disney Life. And I basically saw all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, I think I'll give. I think the next one is Make My Music.
Make my music.
You're not seeing that one, I'm guessing.
No. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts on it if I have seen it. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, it's another Fantasia-esque film.
Oh.
Let me just copy and paste that onto this one. All right, so the next one is technically it's Song of the South, but that one's kind of banned. You heard of that one?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of controversial things about that film.
Yeah, it's basically deleted from all of existence. You can't get it anywhere. You can torrent it probably, but
Maybe, yeah, I was gonna say you probably could torrent it.
yeah, gosh. There's a lot to say about this one, but I see why they banned it essentially.
Yeah.
I put it at the bottom just because it was even boring. I was bored by it.
You.
Yeah. the animation was nice, but it's a hybrid of animation and live action.
What is it even about? What's it about?
It's about this Uncle Ramus, who's a black guy, talking to two little white kids about these stories of this bear rabbit and a fox just going on an adventure. And then there's like this whole sort of side story with the two kids who are getting picked on, and it's a mess of a story.
What is the racial like?
Oh, it's them
What's the
glamorizing slavery.
controversy?
It's basically them glamorizing slavery. Basically, there's a scene of a bunch of slaves singing and dancing about how much they like being slaves, essentially.
Oh
And
my!
then there's like a scene with the animated characters. There's a fox character who's running away from a bear character, and I think to disguise himself, he creates this mud baby, and it's kind of trying to hint at the fact that this baby is a black baby. And yeah.
Oh my god!
There's more to it, but I haven't seen it in years, so I don't quite remember. Just those controversial scenes. Basically blackface and glamorizing slavery, essentially. Yeah.
That is insane.
Right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Next up, Fun and Fancy Free.
Did you just say Final Fantasy 3?
No, Fun and Fancy Free.
What the hell is that? What about the first two?
First two.
What are you saying?
Oh, Fun and Fancy Free.
What are the words coming out? What are the words coming out your mouth? I'm here. I swear to God, I'm hearing Final Fantasy 3.
I said Fun and Fancy Free. Fun
and fancy. Fun and fancy.
Yeah.
Feet.
Fun and Fancy Free. It sounds like Final Fantasy 3, but
Free.
it's fun.
Where is what Fun and Fancy 1 and Fun and Fancy 2?
No, not number 3, but free as in I am free, like Aaron Yeager being free. You know?
Oh, okay. I've
So
not seen
Fancy
this one
Free.
either, dude.
Yeah. It's basically two
I
shorts.
guess you could.
It's about a bear, Bungo the bear, and Mickey, Donald, and Goofy building a beanstalk. It's
okay.
harmless. I'll put it above Dumbo. I'll put it at number 4, in my opinion. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Especially the beanstalk one. It's all right. Melody Time. I don't remember this one. I saw it one time. I think one of these package movies had some racial elements in it. Like I think there was, yeah. To this era.
Disney can't say that.
So basically, Snow White to Bambi is the golden age. That's basically phase 1. Phase 2 is Saludos Amigos to.
Is this phases of the races?
No, this is phases of the era. So basically, it's kind of like seasons essentially. So season 1 is Snow White to Bambi. Season 2 is Saludos Amigos to Ichabod, and so on. So we are in phase 2 essentially, which is called the wartime phase.
We're in the end game.
Yeah, wartime phase. So Melody Time, never heard of it. It's just shorts stacked together as a movie, not really a film. Nice animation though. And then we have, I'll put that at the bottom. I don't remember this one. And then we have Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. You heard of this one?
I think I've seen a bit of this one. I don't remember the Toad aspect, to be honest with you. I remember Ichabod and he's being like chased by a headless horseman.
that's
I
the one.
don't remember anything about this Toad. What is this Toad?
It's basically like a court case with a toad who, I think he was accused of something. It's it's a very Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers-esque short, essentially.
Toad, I'm so confused.
Yeah. It's basically two shorts. So Ichabod is one film and Toad is another, but they
Oh,
combined
they
them.
have
So
no correlation.
yeah, it's two separate stories.
Ah,
Yeah. But Disney wanted
okay,
money, so they
okay.
wanted it to just combine it to be a movie to release in the theaters.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
This one I will put probably just behind Bambi at number 3. It's pretty good with Ichabod. Pretty dark with him as well, because
Okay.
you don't know what happened to him. But that's the end of phase 2, which is the wartime age. Now phase 3, which is the Silver Age, starting with Cinderella.
Cinderella. When did I see it? I've seen this years ago. It was a pretty decent film, but the animation was solid. I didn't. The story about like fairy godmother and stuff like that. It's a bit boring.
Yeah.
Um, not really much to say. Not my type of film, but I
Yeah.
know like this type of scenario would go well with little girls or whatnot.
Oh yeah, it's made for them, pretty much. It's a fantasy
Yeah.
for them.
Uh-huh.
I don't get it, but hey, everyone has their dreams.
Of course, yeah.
I'll put Cinderella probably underneath Ichabod. It's good, but not that great. I think the sequels
What's the rankings so far?
So we've got Snow White at number 1, Bambi number 2, Ichabod number 3, Cinderella number 4, Pinocchio 5, Final Fantasy 3 6, Dumbo 7, Saludos Amigos 8, Fantasia 9, Make Mine Music 10, 3 Caballeros 11, Song of the South 12, Melody Time 13.
Wow, Final Fantasy 3 is up there.
Fun and fancy free.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Alice in Wonderland is next.
Alice in Wonderland. I don't remember much of this film. I just remember that cat with the eyes.
Yeah.
And that was like very trippy, dude.
So when I were in the 50s,
Uh,
in the 1950s.
wow.
Yeah. So phase 1, which was the golden age, was in the 40s. Phase 2 was also in the 40s, and phase 3 is in the 50s. So yeah, we're in the 50s.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, I remember the Mad Hatter. I remember. See, I don't remember much of the story except she drinks something and she goes very small, and
Yeah.
and then the cat. That's all I remember. I
Yeah,
can't
it's not
really
really a story. It's just a bunch
rank it.
of series of events,
Yeah.
I'll put Alice right underneath Pinocchio
Okay.
at basically number 6. Next up, we have Peter Pan, 1953.
Peter Bloody Pan.
Yeah.
Peter Pan, dude, this film. Every boy wanted to be Peter Pan, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to fly.
It's a
Everyone wanted
classic.
Wendy. Everyone wanted be Hawk. Dude, I think that's got to be like number 1, dude.
Yeah, I agree. It's just it's the most action animated film so far of
Action
the
packed
list.
with the bunch
Yeah.
you've listed as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun film.
Shmee. That has to be like number 1 so far.
I know there's controversy with the Indians, the natives.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What makes a red man
course,
red?
yeah.
Yeah, it's controversial.
That is crazy. Yeah,
But-
to realize that.
Yeah. It's so controversial that Disney Plus no longer have it on the kids page, but mainly like the adult page now because of
What
that one
about the
scene.
Song of the South?
Song of the South is just gone. It doesn't even have a DVD.
Wow, not even in the adult section. That's great.
Yeah. Be at number 1, Peter Pan. 1955, we have Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. Oh, dude, those Siamese cats. Oh, they were so annoying. Oh, dude.
And very racist
That
as well.
film was. Yeah, that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, holy shit. I remember this film being like depressing as hell to watch, dude.
Really?
Like, yeah, like the fancy nice dog, you know, the bitch, what you call her, gets kicked out or whatnot because the cat's causing too much trouble.
Yeah.
She's on the street and all. Yeah, it's pretty traumatic, man.
Yeah, it was
I
quite
need to
sad.
rewatch that film because I don't remember how it ends at
Okay,
all.
I won't spoil it then. But I'd watch it for the animation. It's so nice. Like the backgrounds are so detailed.
Animation. I remember the iconic spaghetti scene.
Yeah.
That
There was actually an interesting fun
Everywhere,
fact
dude.
about it. Disney didn't actually want that scene to begin with, but the main animators wanted that scene, so he had to animate it all by himself. So this one spaghetti scene is animated by one guy, essentially.
wow.
Yeah. Fun fact. And because of that, I'm going to put this at number 2. I like this one a lot.
Number 2 is fair. Yeah.
It's the first Disney film to use the widescreen ratio, so like the 21:9 VistaVision, I think they called it, or Panavision. You know, that really wide aspect ratio. And then 1959,
yeah.
we have Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. I don't think I've seen this film, but I know the controversy of it. Of like, wait, oh no, that's Snow White. Never mind. I don't remember Sleeping Beauty.
This
Actually.
film has
I don't know what that
possibly
one's
one
about.
of the best final acts. I won't tell you what it is, but it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's about. I know
I'll tell you like the
pricks
overall
her finger
story.
or
Yeah,
something.
she pricks her finger, and
She
that's
pricks her
it.
finger.
That's all I'll tell you. She pricks
Oh,
her
that's-
finger.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
the final
shit, man,
act,
Do you want to
like-
watch a film? Hey, dude, you want to watch a film about a woman pricking her finger?
It's just like the music and the I hate to say it again, but the animation as well. It's damn.
Dude, Disney were on top of their game back then.
I know. In
know?
1959 as well. Gosh. But this movie bombed
Yeah.
at the box office, and Disney were in a bit of a pickle, so they had to completely redesign their art style a little bit. So now we have 101 Dalmatians in 1961, where they used the Xerox machine. So basically, this is the era where they started to use the black outlines a lot, and it was very sketchy.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, awesome, dude. That film was awesome.
Classic.
That's in top 10 easily.
So Sleeping Beauty would be number 5. 101 Dalmatians is probably number 1 for me. This is a nostalgic film. I love it.
Nostalgic film, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, it's Cruella de Vil, one of the best villains of all time. She's such an evil cow. Ugh. Just
Yeah, her motive is insane, dude. Insane, making fur out of those
I know.
puppies.
I mean, car.
That's crazy. How did he come up with stories, dude?
I know. I mean, it was a different time, dude. They just came out of the war, so they were
They're actually very creative as
Yeah.
well, you know?
they were on their game. I know Disney wasn't a fan of the new art style for Disney with the black outlines. He preferred the Lady and the Tramp style, you know, more with like the clean colors. But I kind of like the look of the 60s Disney, 60s and 70s Disney, you know. Very sketchy and very... It has that very... It's very old school, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But next up we have 1963 Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone. This film is so awesome, but I can't justify it in having it in the top 10 for some
Yeah.
reason, and I don't know why. Something's stopping me from putting it in that top 10 list, but it's such a good film.
It is a good
But
film.
I don't think it's just, I don't know why. Like, there's nothing, like, the animation's awesome as well, but there's just, it doesn't feel like a Disney film either, which is funny, like, strange.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, it doesn't,
It
it's,
reminds me
it's
of that
weird. I
like
don't know.
old Lord of the Rings cartoon that they made. It's very of that time, you know?
It's weird. It's like the least Disney film ever made. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's lacking princesses or
Yeah,
like,
it's
in
there's
those
no
films.
apart from Madam Mim, there are no female characters at all in this film, which is
Interesting.
yeah, probably that's one aspect. But I like Merlin. He's very gives me like Harry Potter Dumbledore vibes from the first two movies, you know. He's very whimsical, he's very silly, you know.
Yeah.
But I like it. Although they do change the voice actor of Arthur a lot because the kids kept aging and their voices changed.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, so if you watch it, you can notice that his voice changes. It goes from high to low to high to low again because they keep changing the kids.
Why?
Because the first kid
Why?
went through puberty and his voice changed, so they had to hire a new kid, and then his voice changed. Then he hired another kid, and then his voice changed. So it was a bit of a fuddle.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, I've not even noticed. I might need to research that Sword in the
Yeah.
Stone, all voice actors.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, this movie will be at I'd say number 6. Sword in the Stone. Now we have 1967's The Jungle Book, which is the last of the Silver Age. So the last of Phase 3.
That is fitting because this will be the last one we do. A
Yeah.
rank before I have to bounce.
Yeah.
So this one, an iconic film. A lot of people have it as their number one. So
Yeah.
damn good.
I prefer the remake if I'm being honest. Yeah.
I don't really fuck with this film that much, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I just, it's just one of those ones where I wasn't into that main character, that kid. I didn't.
Mowgli.
Mowgli.
It just didn't do it for me, to
Go
be
home,
honest.
dude.
Yeah.
Go home, bro. You're not.
I'm putting this at like number
Go
12. Yeah. And sadly, this was the final Disney movie that Walt was a part of before he died, so sad. Phase, which is the Dark Age, the Bronze Age, which begins with
So
the
you gave
Aristocats.
Yeah. Oh,
What are you going to say?
you gave me a question last week. You
Oh,
gave
yeah.
me a question
Oh,
last week.
crap. Yeah. I forgot about that.
It's fine because I didn't. So there was only one. There was only one film that came to mind from what was the years 1977 and 1980.
No, so it's from 1970 to 1988, which is the Bronze Age, also known as the Dark Age.
Okay. Only one film comes to mind, and is it Beauty and the Beast?
Nope, that's not the one.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So, Aristocats begins the Bronze/Dark Age of Disney. Have you seen this one?
Aristocats, right? No, I have not.
Okay.
But I know it's about cats.
Yeah. It's basically these cats are owned by a rich lady, and she's going to. Basically, she's essentially dying, and she wants to give her will to her cats. Like. And the guy who is her servant is mad about this, so he ties the cats in a bag and chucks them into the ocean.
What?
in order to get her will. But the cats survive and they meet other cats and they go on an adventure to try and stop this guy.
That is dark. What the flip?
Yeah, it's a pretty. Yeah, I was quite surprised when I saw that. I like the aesthetic of this movie. It reminds me of Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
Like some of the
okay.
backgrounds.
Because the aristocrats remind me of this other film about this cat that gets lost and he meets up with this dog. I don't know what the film's called,
Okay.
but the aristocrats remind me of that animation of this
Okay.
cat. He's lost in a big city and this dog helps him guide him around.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I think that might be a Disney film, but I won't tell
Oh,
you
okay.
which phase/era it is from.
Okay.
But Aristocats, have you not seen this one?
I don't think I have. I don't think maybe like bits and pieces, but I don't think I've seen the full thing.
Okay. I thought it was okay. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's just okay, you know. I think I'm gonna put this movie somewhere between. I think I put it behind Cinderella. The Aristocats. I need to reorder this so I can. I kind of want to change this to numbers. Okay, here we go. So Aristocats is number 10.
Do you know what I think? Do you know why like Disney play? I finally understand why Disney plays it safe now with the films that it makes.
Yeah.
It's because these films, like the Aristocrats
Mhm.
and that dog and cat film that I just mentioned or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't think they did well in like the
Yeah.
box office or whatever.
So
Even though they're like unique and good films,
yeah.
it just didn't appeal to a wider audience. So I think
Mm.
that's why they just play it safe.
It's a bit ironic you say that because the Aristocats, if I get this, if I get my fun facts up, do 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 do. This film is the 20th highest grossing movie of all time in France.
Okay, Disney. In France. Never
Yeah,
mind.
in
Just in
France.
France.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
guessing
because this
it
was
takes place in France.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
But this movie made what's the box office total? 191 million with a
Wow.
budget of 4 million.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a total box office. So I'm guessing that's all from like the re-releases over the years. But yeah, overall it's 191 million. So pretty successful movie. But the thing with
It
these
is.
movies is
Yeah.
that even though they're successful, they were never in the future seen as like Disney classics like Beauty and the Beast and
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Why is that? Why?
Honestly, I think it might be due to this movie being in the Xerox era. Because those movies, like these movies, have a very dark color palette and they're very moody. So maybe the aesthetic didn't appeal to. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of a combination of the aesthetic and the writing. You know, I think the classic Disney movies people remember are musicals. You know, like your Little Mermaid or your Aladdin. Like those are the movies people remember. But this era didn't have any musical movies until the end of this era. So I'm not too sure why that is. I'm actually gonna have a quick look up and see
Yeah. Do it. It's
why
so weird. It's so bizarre.
why is the Dark Age of Disney forgotten? Okay, so essentially the Dark Age really began in 1981 to 1988, and this era is still part of it, but it's known as the Bronze Age. Okay. But it is all the same age. It's 1970 to 1981. Okay, that's interesting. Hmm. I can't speak for the 70s movies, but the ones from 1981 to 1988, there is a reason for that. So I'll read that. The Dark Age. Okay. There doesn't seem to be a reason for that. They sort of blame it for growing pains and due to creative differences and infighting and many delays and staff turnovers. I think just a lot of the movies just didn't connect with people at the time, you know? There is one movie that's nearly killed Disney in this era. We'll get to that later on.
Okay.
But yeah, there isn't really a reason. I'm guessing because a lot of the stories just weren't as bright and optimistic, you know? I'm going to do a deep dive into this for next week, but let's just keep going with this ranking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, Aristocats number 10. Next movie, we have Robin Hood from 1973.
Ooh, good film.
Yeah,
Good film.
this is a classic one.
Yeah, it's a good film. Yeah, I love Robin Hood.
Had a budget of 5 million, made 33 million at the box office.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nothing like the Aristocrats.
Nothing like that. But this is a classic. It became a cult classic from VHS tapes and DVDs over time. Everyone knows this movie.
Yeah. Like, it's a bit nostalgic, isn't it? Because of, like, the whole Nottingham vibe.
Yeah, Nottingham.
Nottingham, Shottingham, pop.
Yeah, I own this on VHS still. It's literally in my cupboard. Still, I have the tape.
Dude, it's so because it had it's very, it has this, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it has this mysticism about it.
Yeah.
It has this nice vibe to, like, this whole style. I love this era of Disney
Oh yeah.
because I think because they all have that similar style of animation.
Yeah.
It's like kind of roughish.
Yeah. So there's a reason why it looks like that. It's called xerography. So from 1960 all the way to 1987, the Disney company used a process known as xerography. So before, they would, like, you know, when you would, like, sort of draw the characters, they would go back and sort of clean up the lines and actually ink it. But because Sleeping Beauty bombed at the box office, they had to cut back on the cleaning up the outlines, and they used a technique called xerography, where basically the sketches you see are the actual sketches they initially did on paper.
Wow.
So
Okay.
this is like the truest, like, form of animation you're seeing. So those lines are the actual pencil drawings by the Disney animators, and it's
That's
not actually clean up.
amazing.
Yeah. So they used that style to sort of, like, save time instead of going back and cleaning the outlines and making it look sharp and smooth and, you know, and all that.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense because there's less, I guess, production. They cutting out, like, some sort of, like, production just
Yeah.
to save cost.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's actually pretty cool.
That's why it looks very scratchy, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
But it kind of gives it a unique look, you know.
Yeah.
It is very
But
nostalgic.
it
looking
felt
at
less.
it.
It's
Yeah.
weird because it also doesn't feel like Disney. It feels
Yeah.
less premium.
Yeah, it looks more. It gives it a very cold look to it, you know. And I think
Yeah.
that's probably one of the reasons why these movies aren't sort of seen as classics because
Praised.
yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think it is that
Yes.
very cold, dark art style of this era.
Because it does not feel like a Disney
Yeah,
film
Disney
at
film.
all.
Like you look at Peter Pan or Cinderella, like that's a Disney movie, because it has
Yeah.
that traditional
Yes.
Disney look. Even Aladdin, like from Little Mermaid onwards, they went back to that original art style and sort of got rid of this xerography process. But I kind of like this era, for the
I did,
scratchy
yeah,
outlines.
same.
Yeah,
It felt okay. The word I'm looking for is niche
niche. Yeah,
or indie, niche and
indie.
indie, because it
Yeah,
doesn't feel premium at all.
yeah,
But it's obviously Disney, It's
yeah.
that produ Yeah, that's crazy.
And also like the way these stories were written, they were written for like everyone, not just kids. Like there's a lot of jokes
Yeah.
in these movies that if you did them today, ooh, you know,
I'm
yeah.
interested. That's funny.
But yeah, so I like this movie. I'm gonna put this movie at number two, if I'm being honest.
Ooh,
It
so
is a
101
really, yeah,
Dalmatians,
it's a really good movie.
Aristocrats.
Robin Hood.
Oh no, Robin Hood, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, 101 Robin Hood and Peter Pan. I think
yeah,
that's fair.
yeah.
That
It's
is
just,
fair.
it's a good movie. It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's so good that the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox actually uses a song from this movie. It's that love.
Wow.
Yeah, the scene when Robin Hood and Maid Marian are having that romantic moment in the woods. They use that song from this movie.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox is a fox as well, so that's
Yeah,
that's a funny callback.
funny callback indeed. But yeah, so that's Robin Hood in a nutshell. So the next movie from 1977 is The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh God. Winnie the Pooh and his
Yeah.
cocaine addiction.
Have you seen this
Um,
one?
I may have. I've seen so many Winnie the Pooh films. I don't know if this is the one. Um, I think you have to give me like a brief synopsis of what this is about.
So this movie
Then I
is
can
a
be like,
package movie. It's basically three shorts stuck into one movie.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense because I probably have seen one of the shorts in the Winnie the Pooh film, or whatever it's called.
So the three shorts are Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. So the first one is Winnie the Pooh and Rabbit are having a day out, and then Winnie the Pooh eats a bunch of honey, and he gains weight and he gets stuck in Rabbit's hole, and Rabbit and the friends have to
Ooh.
try and like push him out of the hole. And
I think I have
it's a
seen that one.
very, very funny short. Like it has a lot of funny jokes.
I think I may have seen that one.
And then the second one is Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. This one is essentially what happened in this one? It's basically when Winnie the Pooh meets Tigger for the first time. And Tigger kind of scares Pooh
Ah.
about the heffalumps and woozles out in the open. And he has that dream sequence, heffalumps and woozles, where it's just really weird animation. It's very it's a
I don't think
very
I have.
psychedelic scene, very psychedelic. And then the final one is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2, where Rabbit is annoyed with Tigger and he essentially bans him from bouncing, and then he feels bad and then he lets Tigger bounce at the end. It's a
Simple.
bunch of, mundane stories essentially.
Yep.
However, I have a soft spot for this because I grew up with this particular film.
Where is the one with that human? Is that
Oh,
Oliver?
Christopher
His name?
Robin. Yeah, he's in this
Something like
one.
that.
Yeah,
Christopher Robin.
he is in this one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. He's in the first short trying to pull Winnie the Pooh out of the hole.
Okay. Because that's the one that I remember him being in.
Yeah,
Christopher
it's probably
Robin.
that one. I'm actually going to rank this movie at number 3. I have a very soft spot for this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I would rank it.
Fair. That's fair.
But let's go on to the next one. So the next one is from 1977, the same year, actually, as this Winnie the Pooh film. And that is The Rescuers.
The Rescuers Down Under.
No, no, that's the sequel. This is the first one,
Oh,
the one
okay.
that came before it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the first one?
Oh, I think I have. Is this the one where they're riding on that giant ass albatross?
Yeah, the bird. And they're basically trying to
Yeah, the
rescue this
bird.
little girl from these two evil humans who want to use this kid to steal diamonds. So they basically adopt this child from an orphanage. It's very sad. And they basically use her to just go through dangerous places and, you know, steal jewels, essentially.
Fair enough. I don't think I remember. I just remember the name and then the
Yeah,
rats going on top of the
the bird.
albatross
Yeah,
to
the
fly.
albatross. Yeah. The
And that's
villain
it.
is very creepy. Her design is very scary sometimes.
The Rescuers.
And
Villain.
just like all the movies, it has that dark
Oh
art
god!
style.
Oh hell no! She is creepy. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Like if you see the way she moves, oh my gosh, it's very fluid and smooth and it's very creepy.
Yeah, designed to give you nightmares. What the hell? It's like the witch from Snow White.
Yeah. I I don't remember. I think I like this one more than Down Under, if I'm being
She's
honest.
holding a gun.
Yeah.
She's holding a
She's
gun in
holding
one
a
of them.
gun.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, they know exactly what they were doing with this.
Yeah.
This is creepy. What the flip?
1977, dude.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. I think I'll put this at number. I think I'll give it a number 8. It's a good film, but there are just others I prefer more.
Yeah.
But after this movie, it is 1981, and now we're really in the dark age. Now we're really in
The
it.
Dark Age.
So
Now really
before
the
before
endgame.
we do that, The Rescuers actually made 169 million on a box office of 7 million. So
Wow.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But now we are truly in the dark age, 1981. Ooh. Fox and the Hound. Have you seen this one?
I think I've seen a bit of it from the beginning. It's like Bambi, you know, when the fox's mum dies or something, and then they raise the fox for themselves or something like
it's
that.
kind of like that. But it's basically a fox is owned by an old lady, and he meets a dog called Copper as kids, and they're just best of friends. And Copper basically grows up just like Harper, and they end up fighting because the fox does something crazy that results in Copper's dog buddy from almost being killed, and then they have a big fight towards the end. It's kind of sad, you know.
Isn't that dog like like one of those dogs that sniff out foxes or something?
Yeah, it's one of those sniffer dogs. Yeah,
Yeah, sniffer dogs.
yeah,
So that dog's friend probably deserved it because he was probably sniffing too close.
yeah. But fun fact, the owner of the dogs is voiced by Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one. So
Oh.
yeah, it's a
That's a fun fact.
pretty good role. Yeah, but it gets pretty dark towards the end. It's very serious, you know. Like they're really like fighting one another at the end. But this movie
Yeah, that sucks.
only made at the box office 63 million on a budget of 12 million. Not too bad, but the budget was a bit high for this one compared to the other movies.
Yep.
But I'll put this
That's
movie
weird.
literally at just underneath Sleeping Beauty at number 12.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really. It's just to me, you know. It is
Yeah,
part of this
that's
era,
fair.
like, you know, that I'm just a bit with. But now we come onto the movie that almost killed the Walt Disney Studio, and that's
Oh,
the Black Cauldron.
the Black Cauldron.
Yeah,
The Black Cauldron.
yeah. Just type that on Google.
Wait, isn't this like the other film, The Sword and the Stone?
It's kind of like that, but no, it's not. It's a different story.
The Black Cauldron. What the hell is it? I don't think I've seen this. What is this, dude? They like buried it deep in the basement. I've not
Yeah.
heard of this. It reminds me
So
of Zelda, though.
basically, it's about this evil emperor called the Horn King, and he wants to secure an ancient magical cauldron that will aid him in his desire to conquer the world. And basically at the same time, this young boy called Taran meets a young princess, and they team up with a creature called Gurgi to try and destroy the cauldron from the Horn King from ruling the world, essentially. It's the first Disney movie at the time to be rated PG, and it was the most expensive movie at the time with a budget of 44 million.
But it looks so bad.
Yeah. It had a bunch of production issues behind the scenes. There were constant rewrites and all that.
Yeah, I can imagine because, dude, it looks trash.
Yeah.
It
So
looks like Peter
basically,
Pan.
let me get.
See, the character looks like Peter Pan.
Yeah. So they basically did a test screening before the release of this movie in '84, and the kids were
Yeah.
very scared of it because it had a very dark, creepy art style, and it's very mature. It put a lot of people off because Disney are known as this sort of fun and fancy, whimsical company, but it had some violent imagery, and there were some sort of scenes which were quite adult
Oh,
in it.
oh dear.
Yeah. That's very, yeah, like the Horn King, you look at him and you're like, ooh, oh gosh, you know,
Okay, let me Horn
the Horn
King.
King. Yeah,
Oh, right, red eyes.
yeah,
Yeah, that does look a bit creepy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it only grossed 21 million at the box office, and it had a budget of 44 million, so it was a bomb.
So the budget, because the rewrites and redrawing and all that stuff, that
Yeah.
that contribute to the budget. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
they had to go back and
yeah.
alter it. This is sort of the era of Disney where there was like a big shift behind the scenes. Like Jeffrey
Yeah.
Katzenberg was appointed the chairman, and he was not the he wasn't liked in the company, you know. He focused more on like selling toys and making money than making a good story. And I think there was an interview of him saying that we want to make money and we don't really care about telling good stories, we just want to make money, essentially. Like that was the gist of it. And it peed off a lot of people in the company. Like, yeah, there's like a whole documentary about him, essentially. Like, you know,
Awesome. Oh,
it's like
Disney has never changed since
it's like
then,
an
so-
hour and 20 long. It's called Waking, Sleep and Beauty. Like, I recommend you watching that because it goes into detail. It's very entertaining.
Waking, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, Waking, Sleep and Beauty.
Okay.
It's on Disney Plus, and it basically goes into detail about the issues of the Disney company from the 70s to the early 90s.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's basically this entire era we're talking about, you know, and what resulted in like all these flops at Disney and how they were able to sort of get back on top with their Renaissance era. But yeah, Black Cauldron, it was so bad that they lost so much money that they kicked out all the animators from the original Disney studio and sent them to these this garage, like those porter cabins, from like primary school. Like
Yeah,
they're
primary
essentially
school. Yeah,
now
yeah,
working
yeah.
in those things. So they're working in like a big studio, a big fancy studio, but now they've been booted out of it and had to work in porter cabins, essentially.
That's so dumb.
And it was it. Yeah, watch the documentary. It explains a lot more, than me. It's very entertaining. Like this is the
Yeah,
era.
when did Walt Disney die?
He died in 1967.
Okay, so this was after his
Yeah.
death. Okay.
After
Okay.
his death, this is essentially like, I feel like this is why it's called the Dark Age, because Disney wasn't a part of the production, so they just didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to connect to audiences essentially, and they just kept making a bunch of movies, and it was a lot of like trials and errors with them, and there was a lot more errors than wins essentially.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's crazy.
But yeah, this like from 1977 to 1988, no, from 1993, like the behind the scenes is more interesting than the actual movies. It's just so wow, it's wild, you know. There's a lot of infighting, people quitting the company, and during this era, there was a popular animator called Don Bluth, and he essentially left the Disney company to start up his own company called Bluth Studios, and he made films such as The Secret of Nymph, what was the mouse movie called? Not Basil. Don Bluth mouse movie. Oh, okay. Not American Tail. He made that. And he
I've
also
not heard
made
any
Land
of
Before
these films.
Time. He made Anastasia, The Swan Princess. Essentially, he became a rival of Disney. This was also the era where there was a new generation of animators such as John Lasseter and Tim Burton. They all applied to Disney at this time to be animators.
Oh,
And they would all go on to be big directors.
Tim Burton was of course Tim Burton was an animator.
Yeah. He kind of was more interested in stop motion at the time.
Yeah,
And he
of
ended up
course,
doing
yeah.
his stuff. And John Lasseter was more interested in the 3D aspect, and he made Pixar with Steve Jobs, and other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The whole Pixar relationship is even more wild because it was a separate company, and
Now,
then
this is the same Steve Jobs as Apple, right?
yeah,
Wow.
so he and John Lasseter worked on like a short, and that short film was so successful that Disney wanted to purchase Pixar, and they had a deal that would go up to 2005, and then they had to renew that contract, and then Disney were like, let's buy Pixar, and then they bought Pixar in 2006 and all that. But that's a story for another day. Yeah. So after the Black Cauldron, we have the Great Mouse Detective.
The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, it's basically like a Sherlock Holmes-esque story with mice.
How many months after Black Cauldron was that released?
It was basically released 1 year later.
Wow.
Yeah, 1986. If you're a big fan of Chip and Dale, it has a very similar style to Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Wasn't there a Chip and Dale movie that came out recently?
Oh yeah, 2022, yeah. It wasn't that good.
The reason I know that is because the original Sonic design is in that.
Yeah, that was the best part of it, the ugly Sonic.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But
But
did they got away with that? Is that a Disney film?
Sonic. Oh, Chip and
No,
Dale.
that Chip and Dale.
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah, the one
They
that-
own Chip and Dale. Yeah, it's Disney.
So they released that film with that one whoever made the Sonic films, that's
Yeah,
Sonic design, and didn't
yeah,
get
pretty
sued.
much.
Wow.
Yeah, but I will put the Black Cauldron at number. I'll put it at number 15, just behind the Aristocats. It's
And was
quite
it bad when you watched
entertaining.
it?
It's pretty good actually. Like even despite the controversy, it's a pretty interesting movie. If you're into those dark
Okay.
sort of type of Dungeons and Dragons type of films, it's pretty entertaining.
I kind of am.
Yeah,
I do like dark atmosphere.
yeah, it's a very dark movie. But Great Mouse Detective, yeah, it's about a little girl who is trying to find her father, who was kidnapped by Ratigan, and she recruits Dr. Basil, the Great Mouse Detective, and his sidekick to find her father. If you're into mystery movies, this is quite interesting. Has an interesting story.
So what's it called?
The Great Mouse Detective. Basil, the Great Mouse Detective.
Okay. Is it? And he actually looks familiar as well. It's actually a good film.
It's
Like a
pretty
great
good. Yeah,
mystery.
it's okay. It's good.
Okay.
I'll
What's
put.
Disney's obsession of mouse?
It's Mickey Mouse. Like they started off with Mickey Mouse, so you know,
Oh, okay.
of course they're gonna use
That makes
mice.
sense.
I'll put this movie at number 17. It's a good film, but there's just more that I prefer, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see how much it made at the box office. So, this movie
What
had
was
a
the
budget
budget?
of 14 million, and it had a box office of 38 million. So,
Oh,
not too bad. Not too bad.
they needed that after what happened that
Yeah,
last film.
they did. And then after this movie, we have 2 years later, Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company, and that's it. Why does that sound familiar?
So Oliver and Company is about a small orange cat in New York City who is abandoned, and he meets
The
a dog, and they go on adventures in the
dog,
city.
okay.
Yeah, this is the film you
Yeah,
were
I've seen
talking
this film.
about. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I do remember that film. The film, that scene that sticks out to me is where they're on the I think it's the motorway,
yeah,
and they like the car is like about to like drop or something, or
yeah.
something is about to
So
fall
basically,
off.
they're being chased by the villain, and like there's a bunch of things falling and crashing, and the villain crashes into something and he dies. It's a pretty.
Oh.
It's quite amazingly animated, that one sequence, you know. This-
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I don't remember much of it, but I remember enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's the only Disney movie I own on DVD. And in my opinion, it's probably one of my favorite films regarding the soundtrack. It has some of the best songs.
Yeah, it's like a musical as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because the characters were
this
singing their own
yeah,
songs.
this was the first movie to enter the musical age. So this was the time when I think the shake-up in the Disney company happened, where they decided to release one movie a year, and most of them would be musicals, and they started off with Oliver and Company. But sadly, it didn't do that well at the box office. It had a budget of 31 million, and
Oh.
what was its initial gross? Because when it initially came out, it didn't do that well. It had a box office of 53 million, but it eventually grossed to be 121 million over time. It was a sleeper, you know. It started off quite weak at the box office, but then it eventually
Yeah.
picked up steam. This was the same time Land Before Time was released, so that movie made more money than this one. But this movie marks the
Land
end.
Before Time.
Yeah, Land Before Time, the dinosaur one.
Yeah. Who made that film? Sorry, sidetrack, but who made Land Before Time?
Don Bluth.
Uh, rival. Okay, okay.
Yeah, the
okay.
rival guy. Oliver and Company marks the end of the Dark Age. So this is the final film in this era of Disney movies.
All right.
So
Wow. That.
I will rank this movie at number... I'll rank it at number 5.
So
So-
that era. So as a kid, right? I
Uh-huh.
always mixed up films with each other because it had the similar design, and
Yeah,
it doesn't help that this era mainly focused on animals.
yeah. There were barely any humans.
Aristocrats, Down Under,
Down Under, Fox and
Hound
the
the Dog,
Hound.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh.
So this is essentially the animal era
The
in a
animal
way.
era, yeah. They're all animals. I think that's why. And plus it has the same art style. The Xerox. It's the final movie to use the Xerox era as well. The Xerox style with the black outlines. Because from now onwards, they will be going back to their old style with the inking and the smooth outlines.
Yeah.
And that began with The Little Mermaid, which marks the start of the Disney Renaissance era.
Yeah,
Yeah, so of
focus
course-
target audience to little girls. And,
Yeah. We
it's
all know
GG's,
Little
so
Mermaid.
yeah.
I actually really like this one a lot, if I'm being honest. It had a budget of 40 million and made 235 million at the box office.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a hit. And yeah, this is the beginning of this musical era of Disney, you know. A big song and dance
Yep.
numbers everywhere. This might be a hot take, but I'm putting this movie
Go
at
for it, number one.
number 1.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I like this
To
film a
be
lot.
fair, I've not seen this film. I've not seen this film.
It's a really... I like it. Like, the animation, the voice acting, the music, the style. It's just awesome. I know it's a girly princess film and all that, but it's a good film. Like, if you compare this movie to the other movies that we ranked, it's probably the best one in my opinion. Like, it just hits everything for me, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm guessing you've seen this movie a lot.
I've not. I told you I've not
You've
seen
not,
Little
really?
Mermaid.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, I've
okay.
not.
It's a fun film. That's all I can say. It's
I
fun.
think the only Disney princess movie I've actually seen, and I think remember the teeny bit, is actually Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
I
Damn.
don't remember much of
Okay.
anything else.
Ursula is a very
Oh, of
creepy
course,
villain.
Aladdin as well, but
Oh, yeah,
Aladdin
but that's
doesn't
not
really
really
count
princess.
as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was also like the first time where Disney kind of wanted to make their princesses a bit more three-dimensional instead of being this two-dimensional character with like not much of a personality. They gave more of a personality to Ariel in this one.
Yeah.
And she's not that perfect, you know. She makes mistakes, and she almost like her signing her. I don't want to spoil it actually, in case you haven't seen it.
No, I think I've already seen all the spoilers you can for that film, but
Yeah.
I've never actually sat down and watched the film from beginning to end.
Okay.
So it's okay. I know that she gets feet, she
Yeah,
can't
she gets
talk,
feet. She can't talk.
and then other stuff happened, and there's
Yeah.
like this evil octopus woman.
Yeah, Ursula,
Yeah.
very creepy lady. Yeah. But yeah, the songs are good. It's a good time, dude. Number 1 for me. Number 1 for me. But after this movie in 1990, we have The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, okay, that's the sequel to The
The
Rescuers.
sequel, yeah. Have you seen this one?
I think I have. I don't remember. I really don't remember. But I remember that name more than the original Rescuers.
Yeah. So this one is the one set in Australia where this little blonde boy who's Australian with an American accent for some reason has gotten kidnapped, and he calls for the rescue mice. And yeah. I don't really like this one, if I'm being honest. I don't. I think the first one's
Why did
better.
they choose? Is this the first sequel they've ever made?
Yeah, it's the first official Disney sequel they've ever made.
Why do it for that one?
I think because the first one made. Let's have a look at the box office. The first one made 169 million, so I think it was the most successful movie in that dark age. So, but it is weird how it was this one, you know, and not like other movies, you know.
Oh, that does make sense why they chose that one out of all other films then.
Yeah. But this movie had a budget of let's have a look. I don't even know what the budget is. It doesn't even say. It does not say. But it was known as a box office bomb, only making 47 million. And basically any Disney sequel movies would just only be released on VHS, so direct to
Yep.
video. So you
Direct
have
to
your
video.
Aladdin 2s, your Aladdin 3s, your Lion Kings 2 and 3, all on tape or DVD'd, not in the cinemas. And this was the first movie to be drawn digitally. So on the Cintiqs, you know? It's not on
Yeah.
cells.
That
So,
makes sense.
Yeah, that explains the new art style. You know, it's very bright and sharp, essentially, compared to the more dark and gritty movies of the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. So 1991, we have Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen this
Beauty
one.
and the Beast. Yep.
Everyone. Oh, Rescuers. Sorry, I'll put Rescuers down under at number 22. Number 21, actually. Not a big fan of this one. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast. You seen this one?
I have seen this one.
Yep. Very good film.
It is. I remember the weird what are they called, like the kettle,
the kettle, the
teapots. It's
Miss
just weird,
Teapot.
all alive in this
Yeah.
house. I don't think that was explained, was it? But
It kind of was. So
It
the
was.
Beast was a douchebag in the movie, and he met a evil witch, and he was mean to her, and he cursed him and everyone in the house to be a
of
beast.
course,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah,
I forgot. I can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, this movie was a huge hit. It had a budget of 25 million and made a whopping 424 million. Huge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
So
it
I
was,
guess the
yeah.
art style really was like a key thing.
Yeah.
Like having that yeah, wow.
The clean
Because now it
outlines.
doesn't look like an independent small budgeted film. It looks like
No.
a
Premium Disney
premium animation film. Yeah.
with all the colors and clean art line. And
Yep.
yeah, this movie was the first animated movie to receive a Best Picture Oscar nomination at the Academy Awards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so big. And yeah, the music was good. The story was good. I just really liked the film. It's a good film. Sadly, the movie, the main person who did the songs, Howard Ashman, died halfway in the production.
Ooh.
And he was the one guy that would write the songs. So, yeah, pretty sad. So the film was dedicated to him.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll put this movie at number 5. Yeah, number 5. I like the film a lot. And then,
5 is a good spot. Yeah.
yeah, next up we have Aladdin.
Ooh.
Everyone's seen this one.
Hard carried by I forgot his name.
Robin Williams as the genie.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
I feel like without
Hard
this
carried.
guy, without the genie, it just doesn't. I'll be honest, I
Doesn't work.
kind of am a little bit bored with it without the genie, you know?
Yeah, this film would be whack. But obviously, that the film is about the genie himself, right? Three wishes,
Yep.
and he's been trapped for like how many years? And yeah, dude, Aladdin is awesome.
Yeah, this movie had a budget of 28 million and made a huge box office of 504 million. So
Yikes.
even more money. And it was a
Yeah.
huge hit with VHS. It set a sales record in the US. And it spawned a bunch of sequels, Return to Jafar and King of Thieves on tape.
Wait, two sequels?
Yeah. Return of Jafar and King of
Wow.
Thieves. There's so much
Well, I don't think I've
controversy
seen-
behind the scene. So Robin Williams didn't want to be he didn't want his voice to be in the toys and promotion for this film, but Disney didn't listen to him. They were like, whatever. And because of that, he was so mad at Disney that he didn't return for the sequel. So they got the Homer Simpson
that's a
voice
bit-
actor for the genie.
Wow. He's a good voice actor as well.
Yeah. And the success of that tape
Yeah.
made Robin Williams want to come back for the third movie, King of Thieves. So he did that.
Bro,
Yeah.
Robin, come
Yeah.
on. Why are you taking the bread off Homer Simpson's? You can't do
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, that Disney money, you know, like, yeah, it is what it is."
that. Dude, what year did this film come out of?
1990. So the original Aladdin film came out in 1992.
Wow. Okay.
So
yeah.
90s. Yeah,
All right.
classic.
Well, my food's here. Let me just be right back. Yeah. Let me
Yep, that's all good.
continue.
Cool. Rankings next up. So yeah, Aladdin. I'm gonna be honest. I think the music and Robin Williams saved the movie for me because otherwise it's kind of boring. I did
Yeah.
watch it recently. It's just so dull, in my opinion. The animation is really nice though. Like I do like the art style. It has a very curvy look. You know, like the lines. If you look at the way they draw the lines, it's very curvy. But I will put
I
this.
need to revisit that film.
Oh yeah. I know you don't like Disney Plus, so you're gonna watch it in other places.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have any rush to watch those films.
Yeah, that's true. But I will put this movie at number under Oliver and Company, number 8. But now we come to the big one. The Lion King. I just can't wait to be king.
Oh, this is funny because this was always my favorite Disney film.
Really?
Always. This was always my favorite Disney film.
I never grew up with this movie. Like, I actually watched it as a teenager. Like,
Yeah.
in confetti
That's fair.
for the first time.
I remember being in Pakistan as well, wanted to watch this film because I had a VHS copy of this film,
Oh, really?
and that's the very first time I watched it, and I just fell in love with it. And this was years after it was actually, because when did The Lion King come out?
This movie came out in June 15th, 1994.
So yeah, and I was born a year after that,
Oh, wow.
and I only discovered The Lion King around 2000s while I was in Pakistan.
Okay.
And I found a VHS copy of it, watched it, and I fell in love with that film. That film was amazing.
So this movie, I
And-
have... Oh, sorry. You go on.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's it's just I've always had a special like place for that film. But carry on because I do
Yeah.
want to like tell you my thoughts of it after.
So yeah, this movie, I'm very familiar with the trailers because on most of the Disney VHS tapes I grew up with, they would always play the trailers for this movie. But actually watching it for the first time, like, the animation is awesome. It's really beautiful to look at. The Elton John song at the beginning is possibly one of the best animated scenes in any film. In the Circle of Life, where all the animals are
Oh,
walking.
not the
Yeah,
husband. That one.
so
Oh,
yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah. And I like the "Just Can't Wait to Be King" song. It's so fun. That's my favorite scene in the whole film. Like, but I'm not gonna lie.
So,
Like,
yeah, go on, it's gone.
I think I respect the movie for what it is, like the art and animation and the story, but I don't enjoy it as much as other people because it's been memed, it's been parodied so many times in The Simpsons that when I finally watched it, I was like, "Oh, is this the movie? Okay, cool," you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, this film is no longer my number one favorite film.
Oh, really? Okay.
Obviously, number one Disney favorite film. Only because I found out it was like a rip-off of a
Yep.
Japanese animated film
Yeah.
called Kimber the White
Kimber,
Lion,
the White Line.
and
Yeah.
the similarities between it is
Yeah.
too staggering to say you copy. Like Disney obviously copied,
Yeah.
the elements from Kimber the White Lion. Dude, the bloody letter of the name is one off, Kimber Simba.
So Kimber the White
It's
Lion was a manga which was made in 1950 to 1954, and the anime came out in 1965 and it ended in 1966. So The
yeah,
Lion King came out in the 90s, which is a 30-year difference. So put two and two together, yeah, you know,
yeah. It's a
yeah, it's
carbon copy, dude.
yeah. I'm gonna put this movie. This might be a hot take, but oh, I think I'm gonna put this movie at number 11.
Out just outside the top 10. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fair choice.
it's
'Cause
a
it's a
beautifully
literal
animated
copy.
film, but I don't like it as much as
All
other
original.
people. You know, it's such an
Yeah.
yeah, you know. But yeah,
I do think this is a good spot to stop it
yeah,
because I think there's a lot more Disney films
yeah.
to go through as well.
Oh dear. So it looks like the recording didn't actually come through properly from Pocahontas all the way up until Wreck-It Ralph. So I'll just briefly discuss what we talked about each movie, starting with Pocahontas. We both liked the animation look, but we felt like the movie was quite controversial, acknowledging that it wasn't very faithful to its source material. Abbas liked the villain of Hunchback and really liked how cinematic it felt. Hercules he praised as it being a classic, as well as me also praising Hercules and Hunchback, with Hercules being my all-time favorite Disney movie of all time. If you want my opinions, check out all of my reviews of Hercules. But Abbas loved Hades, he loved Phil, voiced by Danny DeVito. He thought he did a good job voicing him. And the Muses, you just can't help but love them. He also praised Mulan and has ranked Mulan as his all-time favorite Disney film, with it being very cinematic, very serious and gritty. He loved the Phil Collins songs in Tarzan. He never watched Fantasia 2000, but will check out some of the scenes. He also never saw Dinosaur, but remembered the posters, and he said the CGI looked really bad. He did grow up with the Emperor New Groove TV show, but not the movie at all. I didn't like Dinosaur at all. I thought it looked trash, and Emperor's New Groove wasn't my cup of tea at all. However, we both loved the Atlantis art and animation. In my opinion, this is the most cinematic looking Disney film I've ever seen. We also acknowledged how it doesn't even look like a Disney film. Lilo and Stitch, we praised them as being classics. I love the animation in particular, and I love Lilo, Stitch, and Nani's on the big screen. I also really liked seeing Brother Bear's animation. Although Abbas has never seen it, he does remember some plot elements from the film, including the twist, which I felt was really emotional and sad, and Phil Collins returns with greatness. Then we have Home on the Range, and we talked about how bland the animation looked and ranked it pretty low. Treasure Planet, Abbas didn't even like the art and animation style of that, and he ranked it pretty low as well. Then we talk about how we both remembered and liked Chicken Little when we were younger. Me personally, I wasn't a fan of most of the characters. I hated how the town treated poor little Chicken Little. We both loved Meet the Robinsons so much that we ranked that movie really highly. We both were bamboozled by the twist towards the halfway point, and the animation is so good. Bolt, we both felt like the marketing was deceiving everyone with the dog being a superhero, but in reality, it's all in his head. We would have preferred it if the movie focused on the dog being a hero. But in my opinion, I love the Miley Cyrus and John Travolta voices. And John Travolta, what a good voice you are. Possibly his best role in my opinion. It's really strange to say, but I really liked his voice. And the song, awesome. And then we have Princess and the Frog, which marks an end to this experimental post-Renaissance era. Abbas didn't see it. I did. I thought it was okay, not the best, not the worst thing ever. Tangled, we both saw. Abbas thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. But I do love the Lantern song so much. I also really liked Winnie the Pooh, but it was an okay film. Abbas never saw it and he was in shock that Winnie the Pooh was the final 2D film. With the way The Princess and the Frog was heavily marketed, he well and truly believed that it was Princess and the Frog that was the final 2D movie. We also talk about Pixar, and Abbas is also quite surprised and confused that Disney and Pixar aren't just one entity and two separate studios. We both acknowledge that with the rise of Pixar in the 2000s, the 2D Disney films were starting to take a tumble, and not too many people were really interested in watching traditionally drawn animated movies. They wanted to see these big CGI blockbuster action mayhem on the big screen. And with DreamWorks and the other studios like Blue Sky all dominating the box office as well, it does look like the traditionally drawn 2D animation movies have finally met their end, and it's sad to say because we both like watching 2D movies, in our opinions. But now we progress forward with Wreck-It Ralph all the way up until the recent movie Wish. So enjoy the rest of the podcast, and I hope that we don't have any more audio issues in the future. So it looks like I didn't record the rest of the podcast, so whoopsie. I'll do like a final ranking at the end, but we're on Wreck-It Ralph 2. So yeah, we ranked all the other movies in that time. Lol, sorry about that.
Food next.
Nice, that's fine. But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph is the next one on the list. Came out in November of 2012. It felt like yesterday when this film came out. I remember all the advertisement for it. I remember the hype of Sonic being in it and all that. So this movie had a budget of 165 million and it made 496 million. Not bad, pretty good.
This was like the first time we saw like Disney expand,
yeah,
like have like tie-ins with different studios, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, it was very surprising, you know, considering Disney are they keep to themselves essentially with their IPs. But they were like, let's just do other things now, and here we go. I kind of liked the movie. I really liked it. What about you?
It was all right. I didn't care for Penelope or Ralph, to be honest with you. I just liked the setting they were in, but I didn't care for them, if that makes sense.
I think I liked the way it looked more than the actual, you know. I like the story, essentially, you know. But, like, yeah, the characters are just kind of I suppose. I did like the twist with was it the villain? This was the movie that sort of began the twist of villains in Disney. I think. But I think I'll put this movie at
What other villains had twists?
Frozen had it, Big Hero 6 had it, Zootopia had it. Even Moana sort of had it as well.
That's really unoriginal. I can't. I can't lie. What the
Yeah,
hell?
all these twist villains. But I think I put Wreck-It Ralph at I put it just above Tarzan at number 9. It's a pretty solid film, you know. I could always go back and rewatch it, you know. The visuals are fun to look at. I like how they all have their own unique styles of animation, which is pretty funny. It's pretty nice. But next up, we have a big one. We've got the big one, the biggest Disney movie that has ever been Disneyed. Do you know what it is?
Frozen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we got Frozen. We know the story of Frozen. You know, it is what it is. It's huge. Had a budget of 150 million. It made 1.2 billion at the box office.
Holy moly!
The first Disney movie to ever do so. It became a huge success. Like, I don't think anyone expected this movie to do the numbers it did and the cultural impact it made. Where
What
were
was it?
you?
Yeah.
Where were you when this film came out? Like
In confetti.
in
Where were
Confetti?
you? Yeah.
I don't know. Where was I? 2013, 2014. I was still in secondary school. Oh, I was in
I was in confetti.
oh, in Confetti. Okay, I think I would have been in
I
sixth
think.
form before Confetti. Yeah,
Uh,
I had to
you later.
retake. Yeah, I had to retake my GCSEs before joining Confetti.
Oh, I did my GCSEs at confetti.
Oh, okay, I had to do it in my old secondary school.
Oh,
That
fair
was
enough.
fun. Lol.
No, I hate them. I hate, yeah.
I never want to go back there. But it is. Secondary school was not fun. But
No, it's ass.
Frozen was actually fun. Did you like the film?
No.
You didn't like the film? Ah, this is where
No. This is the last time I watched a Disney film.
you didn't like it.
Nah.
This might be a controversial take, but this is possibly one of the best Disney films of all time, in my opinion. Like,
Holy.
it's too good, dude. I love I think what sells the movie for me are the characters. They're just so well written. They're all so unique and different and quirky. It's such a fun film to watch, and I'm gonna put it at number 2. Like, it's a hot take, but it's number 2 for me, dude. Yeah.
What about it stands out? What do you like
I
about it?
think I just like the songs in it, the music, the orchestra
Oh,
moments, the visuals, like the scene of Elsa building the castle, and I don't know, just the story overall. To be honest, you know, like it's just such a well written story, you know. Like you have Elsa doing her thing, then Anna and Kristoff are meeting one another, and then Olaf is being goofy. It's just such a fun adventure, and it's got a lot of like
fair enough.
drama and heart to it. It's just I don't like it because it's a princess movie. I just like it because it's a good movie, you know. Like, and then the twist at the end with true love being the sisterly bond was pretty emotional and heart.
Yeah, yeah.
It was pretty good. Like I liked it. Like I feel
Fair
like it's
enough,
one of
yeah.
it's probably one of the few films I would rewatch again. Like it's just such a good film. So number 2 for me.
Yeah, how old are you when you watched this film?
So this film came out in 2013. I would have been 15, but I didn't see it until I joined Confetti. So I watched it at
Right, so
17. Yeah,
fair enough, fair enough.
yeah.
Because I would have been at your age, I would have been watching Naruto, and I would have had those exact same feelings for Naruto. That's why I have like a strong bias for it.
Oh yeah. Like this film like does remind me of Confetti a lot because I watched it a lot during Confetti.
Jeez, how
Yeah,
many?
like probably 2 times. It was always on TV.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
I was
they
always
always will be.
BBC One was playing
Yeah,
it over and
yeah.
over again. I just loved it a lot. It's a fun film. So yeah, it's number two. It's definitely one of their best made Disney films when it comes to the princess stuff.
This is where I checked out.
What you checked out.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the animation, the story they're telling. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think you're just not the target audience, dude. Like,
No,
this is
yeah,
meant for little girls between the ages of 7 and 12. And
pretty much.
yeah,
Yep, yep.
that's their target audience, in my opinion. But
It
yeah,
is. It totally is. That's fair.
and I won't lie, dude. I think after Big Hero 6, I started to check out as well. Big Hero 6 was the final movie, which is the last movie after Frozen. It's the movie after Frozen.
Oh, I thought Pixar made that film.
No, no, no.
Okay, never
So
mind. So yeah, Big
1
Hero
year
6 would
later,
be the
Big
last
Hero
then.
6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Big
this
Hero would be the last. Yeah.
I watched it in IMAX in Cineworld. This was pretty much my end for Disney and me being
Yeah.
obsessed with Disney. Like, I kind of checked out, but I still liked it a lot. Let's see the box office. So the box office is 165 million and it made 657 million.
That's still pretty good. They even
Yeah,
made spin-offs for
600.
it, right?
Yeah, they made a Baymax show on Disney Plus.
And that setting of it being in Japan, that always
Yeah.
helps.
What was it called? Something Tokyo? They had a special unique name they called
Neo
it.
Tokyo, I
Neo
think.
Tokyo. I like the
I
film a
think.
lot. I like the characters.
Well, you just said you checked out.
This was
Or was
the
it after Big
it was
Hero?
after Big Hero, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The characters reminded me of the 16 characters from 16. Do you remember that old I think Cartoon Network show with 16? It was aimed for teenagers.
Wait, what's it called?
16.
No.
The characters reminded me a lot of them, you know. I feel like they were inspired by them. You got the skater dude, you got the nerdy guy, you got the emo girl, you got the quirky girl. It's it's pretty much 16.
No, I've not seen it. This is called Network.
I think it's maybe Cartoon Network, maybe it's Adult Swim. It's number 6 and then teen as one word.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, that's a childhood favorite of mine. But yeah, Big Hero 6. Really nice visuals, like very cinematic. Really good in IMAX.
It is. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the villain.
Oh,
Well, it was pretty
I hated that twist. It was too predictable. I saw that
too
coming a
obvious.
mile away. Because the characters think it's going to be one guy, but then it turns out to be the nice teacher person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most obvious choice.
The way it ended, it set it up for a sequel movie, but that never happened, so... Oh well. I think I'll put this movie at number 15. Pretty good.
And that will be the last one we have to do because I do
Yeah.
have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That's fine. That's all good.
Yeah, like 2 hours and 47 minutes. That's like a big
Damn.
session as well.
Yeah. We've got 4 more movies until the end of the revival era, and then we come to the new era after that. But we'll talk about that later, next time.
Yeah. There's now how many movies is there left?
So there are 4 movies in the revival era, and then in the post-revival era, we have 4 more. So 8
Wow,
movies.
so 8.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then technically there is another movie coming out later on this year, which is Moana 2, but
We yet to see how that
yeah,
plays,
yet to see that
true.
one. But yeah, that's all good. Cool.
No worries, bro.
Right,
Good
dude.
speaking to you again.
Yeah.
Same time next week, I
Same
guess.
time next week. Yep. All right, dude.
All right, but take care.
You
Bye.
too. See you. Bye. The animation and the characters, but I just found it too predictable. You know,
Generic.
I
Yeah,
knew
very-
the guy was
yeah.
going to be the villain. It was so obvious.
obvious.
It was so I don't like saying this, but it felt like a baby movie. Like even a baby can predict that the teacher was going to be the villain. It was so obvious.
It was.
And the way they advertised it being the next Frozen movie, it's Frozen for boys. Do you remember those advertisements for that back in 2014?
It's everywhere.
Yeah. But next on the list is Zootopia. Have you seen this one?
No, I've not seen any after Big
wow.
Hero 6.
You not seen Zootopia?
Yeah. I've not seen anything after Big Hero 6, dude.
Oh, this one's a pretty interesting one. It's about a rookie officer called Judy Hopps, and she basically is a detective who.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Okay, I thought that came out before Big Hero 6. I have seen this one. My apologies.
Zootopia.
Yes,
Yeah.
the animal.
The animal one.
Animal. You should have started
Yeah.
about the animal one. Yes, I have seen. I didn't even know this was Disney. I'm going to be real with you. I thought this was like the other one that did Shrek. Not
Oh, DreamWorks. No, it's not.
DreamWorks.
This
Yeah.
is Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie was a surprise hit at the box office. It came out on March the 4th in 2016, had a budget of 150 million, and it made 1 billion at the box office. Like, that's insane. The marketing was on fire for this film, you know. I remember Subway were
Yeah.
promoting this like crazy because I was working at Subway at the time, and the kids' meals, it was Zootopia this, Zootopia that. Like, criminy. I got kind of sick of seeing the characters after a while. So
Oh, you're saying Zootopia. I thought you said Utopia.
it does sound like Utopia. It's Utopia for animals, essentially.
Zootopia. Okay. I heard you said the wrong thing, dude. I thought you were saying Utopia.
Oh no, Zootopia.
Okay, Zootopia, yeah.
The funny thing with this
Zootopia,
movie
yeah.
is that it has different names depending on where you live. So it's Zootropolis for like people in Europe, I assume, and Zoomania in other regions. So it's got 3 different names.
What?
Yeah.
But we live in Europe.
Yeah, so I think we call it Zootropolis. No, do we?
Interesting.
Is it? I might be doing this the other way around. Let me just double check. Zootropolis. Okay, here it is. So, Zootropolis was renamed in the UK, Europe, and the Middle East and North Africa. And this was because Disney was unable to trademark the name Zootopia in these regions. The name change was a reference to the concept of metropolis rather than a utopia. Zoomania was titled in Germany due to a German's book author's book, which was called Zootropolis, so they didn't want to combine the names with that German book author. I kind of like Zoomania. It sounds cooler, in my opinion. It kind of represents the movie, essentially. It is kind of manic at times. But this is a film which I'm kind of okay with it. I'm like, it's fine. What about you?
It was alright.
Yeah.
I thought the story, again, it was a bit predictable. You knew who the bad guy
Oh,
was.
actually, I was actually kind of shocked by that twist. I didn't expect it to be the sheep lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I
the
did.
sheep lady. Oh, the receptionist, yeah.
Yeah, that did surprise me. But this movie has spawned so much fan fiction online. Ugh, you don't want to see it.
Alright,
You don't want to see it. It's just you can't escape it. You know. It's
Yeah.
like the whole Elsa and Jack.
You just reminded me of a Pokemon leak. I know you don't play the Pokemon games, but just recently, as of yesterday, they had a giant data breach, and a lot of fan fiction has came out by the developers of those games, and it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is going on? Why was that saved? Why did I have documents of that? And why? Oh, it's so funny if you come across it and give it a read. It's so bizarre.
Oh dear. People are weird in the world. Like, I don't judge people,
Yeah.
but I don't know why people do that. It is what it is. But Zootopia, I'm putting this right underneath Big Hero 6. Ironically, it's just above Robin Hood, and the main character is a fox, which is interesting.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Robin
that's a
Hood.
bit funny.
I think the story is a little bit better than the Robin Hood movie. I like the deep messaging on, segregation and discrimination and all that. It's a great way for little kids to understand the real world ain't that pretty, I think it's good for kids.
Yeah, it's filled with lions, sheeps,
Yeah.
foxes. Yeah.
But next on the list is Moana. Moana, make way. You seen this film?
Yeah, I've definitely not seen this, dude.
You've not seen this
I've
one?
definitely not seen this.
This movie is goated.
I think Zootopia. Yeah, Zootopia was definitely the last film
Yeah, I think
I've
so.
seen.
So yeah, Moana. How do I describe this movie? So it's Moana who journeys to the far seas after receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors. Oh wait, that's the sequel. Whoops. That's the sequel. It's actually a story about Moana who sets sails in search of Maui, a legendary demigod, in hopes of returning the relic to Te Fiti and saving her people. This movie...
I think it's just pronounced Maui.
Maui? Okay.
No, just Maui.
Just Maui. Okay. I love this film. Like, this film, out of all the Disney films, gets better every time I rewatch it. When I first saw it, I thought it was meh. And that might be because the kids in the cinemas were doing my head in, running around, throwing popcorn everywhere, just making so much noise. Yeah.
That is awful.
It kind of ruined my experience. But I watched it at home, and I loved it. I flipping adored this one. It's a really good film. And it's nice having a female character be written quite well, like Moana is. And it's nice seeing the representation, it's all that jazz. It's got a pretty cool final act. I won't spoil it for you, but I think you might like it,
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend this one. And for that, I'm putting Moana right above Beauty and the Beast at number 5.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good film. I like this one. It's got some good songs as well. But next up, we've got Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Have you not seen this one?
Nah, I've not.
Oh, okay. It's essentially Ralph and Penelope entering the internet and going on shenanigans. It's not good. Although the final act is really good, because I don't want to spoil it for you in case you haven't seen the trailers, but you get some interesting cameos.
Yeah, I have seen the clip of that where she's with the Disney princesses.
Oh, okay, then that's the spoiler then. Yeah. So the ending is pretty much all the princesses.
That feminism, the feminism power.
Yeah, it's pretty much power to the women and all that. And yeah, the princesses all team up and they save Ralph in the end, and they put him in a dress. Because Ralph is going crazy because he wants Penelope to be his best friend forever, and Penelope wants to do other things, but Ralph is like, no.
That's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
Yeah, it's quite controversial. People are divided on how they feel about Ralph in this movie, because Ralph is this grown man who's obsessed with this little girl, and because Penelope is his first friend, and he's never had a friend, so you do understand that, but he wants her to be his only friend, and he gets angry when she does other things, and yeah, it's just, overall, it's a very movie. I think the first one is better, in my opinion. Okay. Although I do have a funny story about this movie, because I do remember wanting to see this movie because it looked really interesting, and I saw it in uni, and I had to cycle almost an hour to the cinema in -6 degrees weather on a bike. and I got lost.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't find the cinema. Like I ended up in a park because I was using the sat nav and it took me to this abandoned park and I had no idea where I was and I was freezing when that was happening. And I eventually
well,
found the
ain't that
cinema.
creepy? Takes you,
Yeah,
yeah, takes you to some
it
abandoned
took me to
park.
the
You've
back of
arrived at your destination.
yeah, because it was the cinema was located at this, um, you know those like blocks of shops and supermarkets where like you have your Audi, you have your PC World, you have your sofa stores, and all that all
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, yeah,
gathered
yeah.
together. It's like that place, and it took me to the very back of it, and behind it was a big park, and I was just so confused as to where I had to go. But I found it in the end, and I will say the cinema in Leicester that I went to was pretty nice. It had nice, comfy seats. It had an aircon. The cinema was clean and picture was nice. But yeah,
Good.
no annoying kids because I watched it during the day, so that was good. But this movie is the definition of mid. I will put this at number 16. No, I'll put it at number 17 instead. And now we come to the last movie of the Disney revival era, which is Frozen number 2. Have you seen this one?
Right. No.
Okay. It's pretty much Elsa and Anna going on this journey into the unknown. Basically, Elsa has this mysterious voice in her head and she needs to find where it's leading her to. And yeah, if you don't like the first one, you may not like this one.
I don't remember if I saw the first one or not. I can't remember. I think I've seen
Okay.
glimpses of it. I just can't remember. I
Okay.
legit can't remember.
I will say it has some really awesome special effects in this one. Like, they do things with the visual effects that surprised me a little bit. So if you want to watch it for the visuals, then I recommend it. But yeah, it had a box office of 100 million, made over $1 billion. Another big hit for Disney. Of course, no surprise. But I'm going to
Yeah.
put this at like number... I'll put it at number 14. I think the more times I rewatch this one, it doesn't age well. I think I prefer the first one a bit more. I think the story gets a bit too convoluted. They do things with the narrative, they try and make it more deep than they actually have to, but it is what it is. And now we enter the pandemic era, starting with Raya and the Last Dragon.
The what and the what dragon?
Raya
Oh,
and the
right.
Last
I heard
Dragon.
about these films. It had like a giant flop, right?
Yeah, so now we're in the pandemic era. I call it, post-pandemic or pandemic era. This is the era of the flops, essentially. Yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons, like these movies were released during the lockdown, so they couldn't do that well. But Raya of the Last Dragon, I saw in the cinemas, and I actually kind of like this one. It's actually not bad. I think you might like this one. If you like Mulan, you might like this movie,
What's it called?
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Didn't this bomb at the box office?
Oh yeah, it bombed hard.
Oh.
But I think I
Yeah,
might
it does have a bit of like a Mulan vibe.
Yeah.
It looks like Shifu. Is that a Shifu? Is this just copy and paste?
Maybe. Who knows? I don't remember the film. It's been years since I last saw it.
Okay.
But from what I remember, I did like it. It has some cool action, towards the end when they're fighting one another. And the main character who voices her is Rose from The Last Jedi.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that does suck that this bombed.
Yeah. Kelly Marie
Wait,
Tran.
does it suck that it bombed?
I don't
I'm
know.
actually happy that it bombed.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know.
Disney film. I'm happy it bombed.
Yeah. And then we have before that, I'll put this movie at. Oh, where should I put it? I'll put it at number 13, actually. And then next up on the list, this is the final Disney film I watched, Encanto.
Encanto. I don't remember if I've seen this one. I don't think I have. I don't know what
No.
it's about.
It's basically. How do I describe this movie? So, it's about this extraordinary family who live in the mountains of Columba in a charmed place called the Encanto. The magic of the Encanto has blessed every child in the family with a unique gift. Every child except Mirabella. However, she soon may be the last hope when she discovers that the magic surrounding the Encanto is now in danger. This movie,
Somebody definitely had a dream of this and made it into a film.
yeah, this movie is kind of interesting. It's like Coco, if you like that one.
I didn't get to see Coco.
Okay, it's basically it's kind of like Coco essentially, but I like Coco more. This one is a bit
Okay.
It's not for me, if I'm being honest. I'm not the target demographic for this movie, but it does have some nice songs. I won't lie. This is the movie that made me realize that I'm too old for Disney and it's for a new generation of kids. It came out about 3 years ago. I'll put this right underneath Peter Pan at number 24.
24? Jeez.
Yeah, and then we have Strange World, which came out in 2022, and Wish, which came out in 2023. But I haven't seen either of those, so yeah, that's it. That is the Disney ranking. So let me get the ranking up and see.
Yeah.
So number 59, we have Dinosaur. With number 58, Home on the Range. Number 57, Melody Time. 56, Song of the South. 55, Fantasia 2000. Number 54, The Three Calaberos. Number 53, Make Mine Music. Number 52, Fantasia number 1. Number 51, Saludos Amigos. Number 50, The Emperor's New Groove. 49, Dumbo. 48, Fun and Fancy Free. 47, The Jungle Book. 46, Atlantis, The Lost Empire. 45, Chicken Little. 44, Alice in Wonderland. 43, The Aristocats. 42, Pinocchio. 41, Cinderella. 40, Sword in the Stone. Number 39, The Rescuers Down Under, mates. Number 38, Sleeping Beauty. Number 37, The Rescuers, number 1. Number 36, Ichabod and Mr. Toad. Number 35, Bambi. 34, Basil the Great Mouse Detective of Baker Street. 33, The Fox and the Hound. 32, Treasure Planet. 31, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Number 30, The Lion King. Number 29, Lady and the Tramp. Number 28, Winnie the Pooh. 27, Tangled. 26, Aladdin. Number 25, Princess and the Frog. 24, Encanto. 23, Peter Pan. 22, Pocahontas. 21, Robin Hood. Number 20, Zootopia. Number 19, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Number 18, Big Hero 6. Number 17, Oliver and Company. Number 16, Lilo and Stitch. Number 15, Frozen 2. Number 14, Bolt. Number 13, Raya and the Last Dragon. Number 12, Tarzan. Number 11, Wreck-It Ralph number 1. Number 10, 101 Dalmatians. Number 9, Mulan. Number 8, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Number 7, Meet the Robinsons. Number 6, Beauty and the Beast. Number 5, Moana. Number 4, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Number 3, The Little Mermaid. Number 2, Frozen. And number 1, Hercules. What do you think of that list? That's pretty much my list.
It was good. Where would you put Inside Out 2?
Oh, that's a Pixar movie. Pixar.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, we can do Pixar another time.
It's an okay list. It's actually pretty solid, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
From the ones that I have seen. I think I just have a bias. I don't know why. I just really like the theme of Mulan and the actual musicals in it. So that's always going to be my number one.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, what would you say is your top five? What is your five favorite Disney films of all time?
Ooh. Okay, number one, Mulan.
Mulan.
Number two, because it's been a long time since I've actually like gone back and actually watched these films. So I am going to go off based off memories, right?
That's fair enough.
Number two, I'll probably put Aladdin in there
Aladdin.
as
Oh,
number
that's a good
two. I
one.
think Genie is just a good character.
The songs are so good in that
Number
movie.
three, number three might be Peter Pan.
Oh, that's a good one.
Number four, number four, do, 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 do. Maybe Lady and the Tramp.
Okay. Lady
And
and
then number five. Ooh, what do I put down for number five? I don't know. Maybe Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. That's not a bad list. That's a nice list. Okay.
It is, yeah. Those are
So,
all classics as well. It doesn't really feature anything modern from there.
yeah, they're all like oldies,
Old schools, yeah.
old school movies. So let me compare my list with yours for this final ranking. So let me get word up. Okay. Do, 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 do. What was your number two again?
My number two was Aladdin.
Oh, that was it. Aladdin. And what was your number five?
Number five was Robin Hood. But I'm debating with Sword in the Stone as well.
Okay, so this is an interesting list. So your number five, let me just, oh crap. I think I mucked this up a little bit. Okay, so your number five is my number 21. Wow. I mean, I like the movie, but God, it's been so long since I last seen it, and
Where did you put Sword in the Stone? Because I was
oh
also
boy,
debating to put that in number five.
I put that at your number six. Sword.
Number six?
Yeah, for you, that's your number six.
Oh, okay, okay. Where did you put Sword in the Stone for yourself?
Oh boy, number 40.
Number 40? Oh, dear. Okay, never
Damn.
mind.
Yeah, this movie was not. I was not a fan of this. The plot was so messy and chaotic. I just wasn't a fan of it, and I didn't like the voice changing. It was too distracting. Because the kid kept going through puberty, and they kept recasting him, and ugh,
Oh, yeah.
I was so
I've
annoyed.
never noticed that when I watched it for the first time.
When you hear it, you can't unhear it. It's just too distracting. Your number.
Oh, actually, number
What's that?
five. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about Meet the Robinsons.
Okay, so I'll
I
put that.
completely forgot about Meet the Robinsons. So
All
I'll
right,
put that at number two.
number
So I'll
two.
shuffle it down. So yeah, number one Mulan, number two Meet the Robinsons, number
Okay,
three Lady and the Tramp. So
all
no,
right.
number three Aladdin, number four Lady and the Tramp,
Okay.
and then number five is I forgot.
So your
Sorry.
list is
So I just
seven
reshuffled it.
Sword in the Stone, six Robin Hood, number five Lady and the Tramp, number four Peter Pan, three Aladdin, two Meet the Robinsons, and one Mulan. Essentially.
Aha, there we go. Thank you.
So Meet the
Yeah,
Robinsons
I
for
completely
me.
forgot about.
Where did I put Meet the Robinsons? I put that at number seven. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And
Same.
Aladdin, I put Aladdin way at number 26.
Oh,
Damn.
fair enough.
I actually might put this above Princess and the Frog because I think I like this one more than that
Where
one.
did you put Lilo and Stitch? Where did you
That's
put
a
Lilo and Stitch?
Good question. Lilo and Stitch. Number 16.
Number 16. Okay.
And Lady and the... Where did I put Peter Pan? Where did I put that? Oh, number 23.
Number 23. Okay.
Lady and the Tramp. Where did I put this? Number 29. Oh. That's an interesting
And then where did
list.
you have Mulan?
Oh, that's a good question. Mulan is at number 9.
Okay. Ah, wait, like it's completely polar
I
opposites.
know. Like
Because
it's
like
so
different like age gap and everything.
yeah. Like it's so funny how you put apart from Meet the Robinsons, all your list is the 2D movies from the classics. You know?
2D movies, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I gave an exception to Meet the Robinsons is because of that twist was so
Oh
fantastic
yeah.
and I did not see it coming.
That was a big twist, huh?
I love the message behind it as well. Just keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah. Even my list, like the majority of the rankings are all the 2D films. I mean, Frozen, Moana, Meet the Robinsons, they're all the slightly newer CG movies, but my top list is like all 2D classics, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's when Disney was at its peak, you know? But yeah, that's the list in a nutshell. Ah,
There's
about
a
to
lot of
edit.
films to go through,
I
over
know.
40, right? Almost 50.
Yeah, that's a lot. I feel like as
Wow.
time goes on, my list may change. And of course, you got to also factor in Pixar because they were also releasing hits after hits after hits.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, that's pretty much all that done in a nutshell. And that's it. Tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this? Tell me, like, for more updates, news, and all that jazz. But thank you for watching. And as always, a boy dude review signing out.